Good morning students. In this video I am going to explain you the iOS architecture. Okay, fifth unit iOS architecture. Okay, so you all have heard about this iOS, right? It is one of the operating system and so many mobile phones they are using this iOS. Okay, and here we can see what is iOS and how it is working. Okay, and first one it is iOS architecture. It is a layered architecture. So layered architecture is, in the sense, the architecture is having so many layers, and each and every layer they are doing some functions. Okay, and it acts as an intermediary between the hardware and the apps. So if you are creating the apps and an intermediary, something should be there, right, to activate the app and to connect one thing with the hardware. Okay, so in the operating system also we have learned when you are using the operating system in your computer devices, and to make a connectivity between the user and with the hardware devices, what intermediary is there, right? So it is an interface. So the same way here we are having this operating system. It is acting as an intermediary between the hardware and the apps. Okay, and communicate with the apps through system interface. How the communication is done? It is done through the system interface. The operating system, it is using the system interface, and thus through that way the communication is done with the users. Okay, and here what operating system is, we are seeing it as iOS architecture. Okay, and this is the iOS architecture. I told you it is a layered architecture, right? So many layers are there. Okay, starting from core OS to Cocoa Touch. Okay, so these are the layers. So next we can see the functionalities done by each and every layers. Understand? So the first one it is core OS. First we can see about the first very base layer, that is the core operating system. Okay, and it holds some low level features. So each and every layer may hold some features or some characteristics. Okay, so they will do in this iOS operating system. What are the functions done by this one, and this? That's what we are going to see here. Okay, so in that the core OS, some functionalities are given, and these are done by the core operating system. The first one it is core Bluetooth framework. So we all heard about this Bluetooth, right? You all know how the Bluetooth is working. Okay, so it is one of the functionality of the core operating system. Okay, and then accelerate framework. Okay, accelerate framework it is. So some other mathematical functions like calculations, algebraic functions, some other mathematical functions is done by this accelerate framework. Okay, then external accessory framework. External accessories. Some external accessories like communicating with other systems. This external accessories function. Then security services. Security services. So we are safeguarding our mobile phone. Some like copyright issues, some securities we are providing to the applications, right? So that will be taken care by this core operating system. And the last one is local authentication. So you all know about this authentication, right? Only the authenticated persons can enter and use that particular thing, right? Some apps will be protected. Children cannot be used, below these people cannot be. Something it is protected. So only authenticated persons can use that app, right? So we are making like that. So everything, all these kind of services or functions are taken care by this core operating system, right? So core Bluetooth framework, it is taking care of Bluetooth framework, accelerate all the functional mathematical functions, then external accessories, then security services, and finally local authentication. Okay, so this is also done by this core operating system. Understand? Next we can see about the next layer, that is core services. So this is the second layer, core services. Okay, and we can see what are the frameworks provided by this core services. Okay, so the first one is address book. Address book which contains the database of the users. Okay, so it makes an access. It helps to access to view the user's database. So that is address book. Okay, and we all know, right, in our mobile phone, if you want to retrieve the context somehow we are retrieving them, right? So it is controlled by this core services, address book. And next one it is cloud kit. Okay, And here, it moving data between app and the iCloud. Okay, it acts as an intermediator for moving the data between the app and the cloud provided by this iOS architecture. Okay, so that it is Cloud Kits. Okay, so we all know about cloud, right? It is a large database, right? And it is an unknown database. We don't know where it is saved. And here, this iOS, it is owning one cloud. It is a database. And here, this Cloud Kit, it makes an interaction, that is, it acts as an interface between the apps and the iCloud. Okay, iCloud is the cloud owned by the iOS architecture. Then, cloud data. So, it also manages the MVC data model. MVC, it is Model View Controller Data Model. Okay, this we have already learned in the previous video. Model View Controller Data Model. So, it manages this cloud data. Also, it is one of the framework that helps to manage the MVC data model. Okay, and then next one it is Core Foundation. It provides the data management and data services. Okay, so the Core Foundation is one of the framework. It provides data management and data services. The next one it is Core Location. So next one it is Core Location. It gives the location and the heading information. Okay, so for getting the informations like location information or some details related to the another one device, we can use this Core Location. And the last one is Core Motion. It retrieves all the motion-based data of the devices. Okay, it provides all the motion-based data of the devices. Okay, understand? So these are the frameworks provided in the core services, or these are some of the functionalities done by the core services. Okay, address book and cloud kits, then cloud data, core foundation, core location, and finally core motion. Understand? See about the next layer, that is media layer. Okay, so media layer, so already we have seen this, right? So media layer, here it focuses on the graphics, audio and video technologies. Okay, it focuses on graphics, audio and video technologies. Okay, so first we can see about graphics. So what are the graphics frameworks are there in the media layer? Okay, so in this graphic framework we are having UI kit graphics, core animation, core images and vector. Okay, so these are some of the frameworks. A lot of frameworks are there, but here I have mentioned only some frameworks. Okay, so the first one is UI kit. UI it is user interface kit graphics. What are the two functionalities done by this UI kit? We can see here. The first thing it is a high level support for designing the images. Okay, it acts as for high level support for designing the image, and it is one thing that animates the content. Okay, so what else you are giving in your mobile phone? It is that the content is animated by this UI kit graphics. Okay, so these are the two things that is done by this UI kit graphics. The first one it acts as a support, that is high level support for designing the images, and the second thing is it animates the content. Okay, and the second one, core animation. The core animation, the main work of this core animation, it is optimizing the animation. So what the animation already was done, right? So for optimizing the animation, we are using the core animation framework. Okay, then core images. For controlling the video and motionless images, core images are used. Okay, so what are the two works done here? It controls the video and motionless, that is movementless images, core images. And the last one it is Metal. Okay, Metal supports graphics rendering and computation works. Okay, so graphic rendering means converting the original image into 2D or 3D, some works related to that we will be calling it as graphics rendering. Okay, so graphic rendering and some other computation works are supported by this Metal. Okay, understand? So under this graphics framework, we have seen about UI graphics, core animation, core images and Metal. Okay, next we can see about the next one, that is audio framework. So under this audio framework, we are having three frameworks. One it is media player, audio video foundation and open air. Okay, so the first one it is media player framework, and this media player framework, it supports iTunes library and playing playlist. Okay, so you have seen media player in your mobile devices, right? So for what we are using that? For hearing songs, for playing the songs, right? For playing and so many things we can do there, right? And where the songs will be there, it will be stored in some files, right? That we can say it as a library. Some tunes, iTunes library is there for storing. It acts as a database storing all the music there, and we can play from the playlist. So this function is done by the media player framework. Then AV Foundation, Audio Video Foundation. The main functionality of this AV Foundation is recording playback of audio and video. So it will records the audio as well as video, and playback means if you want to, not only it will records, also if you want to play that, we can do using the AV Foundation. So that it is supported, done by this AV Foundation. The last one, it is OpenAL. Okay, OpenAL is the standard which is used for the audio. Okay, audio, it is an industry standard technology for audio, only for audio framework. We are using this OpenAL. Understand? So many frameworks are there under this audio framework, but only I have referred the important frameworks: media player, audio video foundation, and OpenAL. Okay, so the next one, it is video framework. Video framework. So under this framework also the important frameworks are given here. The first one, it is AV Kit, audio video kit, then AV Foundation and Core Media. Okay, AV Kit, it provides an interface for presenting the video. So you may have so many videos in your mobile phone, right? So through some interface only it is displaying in your mobile device, right? So that it is provided by this AV Kit. It is coming under this video framework. Okay, and then AV Foundation. Actually, in audio framework we have seen one foundation, right? So there it's supported for both audio and video playback and recording. Similarly, in video framework also we are having the same AV Foundation which supports video playback and recording. And the last one, it is Core Media. It acts as a low level interface. Okay, so for interacting or for doing low level works, this Core Media, it acts as a low level interface between the hardware and the apps. Understand? So these are the three things coming under this media layer: graphics, audio and video technologies. Understand? So these three cover over core OS, core services, media, and finally we have to see about the core touch. Okay, Event Kit framework, Game Kit framework, iAd framework, Twitter framework. Okay, so the first one, it is Event Kit framework. So Event Kit framework, it acts as an interface for seeing and altering the calendar events. Okay, calendar related events, for making changes or for seeing the calendar events. This Event Kit framework, it acts as an interface here. Okay, and Game Kit framework. So it acts as a game station. We can say it as a game playing station for online game related communication. So online games you are playing through your mobile phones, right? So it is done through some interfaces. Okay, so that interface, some PlayStation, so that thing, it is created by this Game Kit framework. Okay, and iAd framework. iAd, it is advertisements, right? So here iAd framework, it supports banner based advertisements. So we can see while working out in their mobile phones, some banner advertisement with the banners will come there, right? So that is supported by this iAd framework. And the last one, it is Twitter framework. It supports the user interface for generating the tweets. You may have seen about these tweets, right? So it is one of the user interface environment, right? So that it is generated with the help of this Twitter framework. Understand? So these are the basic or important frameworks in the Cocoa. Event Kit framework, Game Kit framework, iAd framework, and Twitter framework. Okay, and we can see about this one. What are the main functionalities done by this? The first thing, it is a development framework. Okay, so main development, it is done in this Cocoa. It is a development framework. It contains many functionalities and interfaces. It provides various functionalities and interfaces and follows the MVC design pattern. MVC, it is model view controller design pattern is followed by the Cocoa Touch. This is the basic thing and important thing in the iOS architecture. Okay, and some functions, two main functions done by this Cocoa Touch is, the first one is multitasking support and the second one is user interface management. Okay, so multitasking is at a time more number of tasks is done by the system, and the user interface management is user interface. So more number of users can be managed, right? So user interface management is done by the help of this COA. So two functions supported by this two is multitasking support and the user interface management. Understand? So under this iOS architecture, we have learned like it is a layered architecture and 4 layers are there: Cocoa Touch, Media, Core Services and the Core OS. And we have seen about all the frameworks coming under all those 4 layers. Okay, understand? Thank you.